All right, welcome back everybody for another deep dive. You know how this works. You send us something that piqued your interest, something you want to understand a little better, and we deep dive into it. Today we're looking at Drake's diss track Wake through the lens of Joe Budden's reaction video. Our listeners got a great ear for hip-hop, but they want to go like a level deeper, really understand the nuances and layers of meaning.
Diss tracks are a whole art form unto themselves.
Right. So we figured who better to unpack this than Joe Budden. I mean, the man's a walking hip-hop encyclopedia. Before we get into his analysis, though, I'm curious, was there anything about Wake that stood out to you on your first listen? Anything that grabbed your attention?
Yeah, actually. It was more of a feeling. I was getting this sense of restraint. Like, Drake wasn't just going all out, with the aggression. There was something more calculated, more, surgical about it. And then Budden pointed it out in the video.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so for the folks at home who might not be as familiar with Joe Budden, can you give us a little background?
Oh, absolutely. Joe Budden, he's a legend, man. Rapper, podcaster, commentator, been a force in hip-hop for over 2 decades.
And doesn't he and Drake have a bit of a history? I feel like there was.
Yeah, definitely. They've had their back and forth, some subliminal shots and tracks, a little tension in the media. So that already adds a whole other layer to this reaction, right? Because he's not just breaking it down clinically, he's coming at it with his own experience.
Definitely add some spice to the mix.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it. What did Budden have to say about Wake?
So right off the bat, one of the things he does is draw a parallel to Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick. Okay. Not who I expected to hear in a Drake diss track breakdown.
I don't know, right? It's like, what? But he specifically points to Kendrick's track, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. And it's not about the sound or anything like that.
So what's the connection?
Budden's argument is that in Wake, Drake is tapping into some of the same emotional depth and thematic complexity that Kendrick is known for. It's not just surface level disses. There's this subtext. There's layers to unpack.
Okay, I kind of see where he's going with that, but I need a concrete example. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So Budden brings up this one line where Drake says, and I'm paraphrasing here, they'll be waning. Right. And on the surface, it sounds simple, right? Like they're fading, they're losing power, but Budden breaks it down. Waning has that double meaning. It also refers to the moon's phases. So it's like there's this visual of them literally disappearing, fading out like the moonlight.
Man, he's sneaking an extra diss in there.
Yeah.
Layering it.
Exactly. And Budden points out that this kind of wordplay is all over Wake. It's not just about the rhymes, it's how Drake is using them, manipulating his flow to emphasize certain words.
It's like he's a verbal ninja.
Yeah, pretty much. Budden even compares the overall structure of Wake to Sing About Me. Drake's taking inspiration from Kendrick's approach, but twisting it into his own thing. It's next level diss track strategy.
I gotta admit, I'm really seeing the value of this Joe Budden perspective. I never would have caught half this stuff on my own.
See? That's what I'm talking about. Hip-hop, especially diss tracks, it's got layers. It's like peeling an onion. The more you look, the more you find.
Okay, so if Drake is coming with this level of lyrical heat, how can anyone even respond? What could match that?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Because diss tracks aren't just one-offs. They're part of a conversation, this back and forth. So how Drake's target responds, or if they even choose to, that's going to be super telling.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. It's almost like a chess match.
Exactly. Every move matters.
I bet there are some legendary diss battles throughout hip-hop history.
Oh, tons. Some that have literally changed the course of the game.
All right, we're putting that on the list for a future deep dive, that's for sure.
For sure. Lot to explore there.
Well, thanks for guiding us through all this. It's clear Wake is way more than just a diss. It's a whole statement.
It is. It's Drake showing his hand, showing what he's capable of.
Absolutely. And Joe Budden gave us the key to unlock it all. For you listening, here's something to ponder. In a world where words have so much power, who wields them best? And what does that say about how we experience art, music, everything? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.